Good morning, chipmunks. It's me, Dina, and today I'm going to read you a book called Applesauce Day. Raise your hand if you like applesauce. I know I do. I've liked it since I was a little girl. Look. Inside the apple, there are seeds, and this is the part that we eat over here. And I like to eat the skin too. Some people don't eat the skin, and that's okay. But I like both. I like to have the skin as part of my apple. And sometimes I dip them in peanut butter. Delicious treat. I spy. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit better, guys. I spied the big pot on the counter right away. Hooray, I said, it's applesauce day. After breakfast, we load up the car and drive to the apple orchard just outside the city. Some of you guys may have visited the apple orchard at Eckert's in Illinois. The air smells like ripe apples here. I listen to the quiet. There are no sirens or screeching tires, only the buzzing of bees and leaves rustling in the wind. And there's different types. There's a Granny Smith type that's green and a Jonathan type that's red. Then Hannah calls my name. She's on her tippy toes, tugging at an apple. I show her the trick Dad taught me last year. Twist and pull, the apple pops right off. Dad winks at me, and we get to work. Mom and Dad pick the high apples. Hannah and I pick the low ones, and Ezra helps too. Soon the baskets are full of rosy apples ready to be smushed into sweet, tangy applesauce. We pack them up and head for Grandma's big, roomy kitchen. Grandma's waiting at the door. Her smile matches mine as she hugs me tight. Ready to make applesauce, she asks. We lug the apple baskets into the kitchen and take our places. Oh, it looks like they're at the sink because it's very important to rinse your apple before you eat it. Right, Miss Anna?
Yes.
This year, Ezra gets to help too. Dad washes the apples and Grandma cuts them into quarters so they'll cook quickly. Ezra drops the apple quarters into the big steel pot. Thunk, thunk, thunk. It's heavy and wide and holds lots of apples. It's perfect for applesauce, Grandma says. It looks like a regular pot to me. As we work, Mom tells us how she helped Grandma carry the bushels of apples home from the market in their quiet Ohio town. Ohio's a different state. We live in Missouri. And how they cooked them in this very pot when she was a little girl. Sometimes it's a good idea to wear an apron when you cook so you don't get food on your clothing. Grandma tells us how she helped her mother pick apples from the old apple tree behind their house on the windy Iowa prairie. They lived in a different state too, Iowa. And how they cooked them in this pot when she was a little girl. Sounds like it's an old pot. I look at the pot again, and I wonder how many apples it has cooked and what kind of stories it could tell if pots could talk. Soon the warm scent of cooking apples fills the air, and their skins fade to pink as the apples melt into mush. And every now and then, air bubbles rise to the surface. Mom scoops the hot apple mush into the food mill. Hannah and I take turns cranking the handle and pressing the apples into the funnel at the top. Crank, squish, crankety squish. Applesauce squishes through the strainer and flows like a river into the pan waiting below. Peels and seeds drop out the end into a bowl. I dip my finger into the applesauce for a taste. It's so sweet, it doesn't really need any sugar, but we add a little anyway. Then we scoop the applesauce into containers. I like to put cinnamon in my applesauce. It's tasty. By now, our stomachs are rumbling, and Grandma sets out a plate of sandwiches and a big bowl of warm applesauce. She sprinkles cinnamon on top. Just like Miss Dina likes it. And We all take heaping helpings and then seconds, and Ezra licks the bowl. Sometimes babies do that. Then we go back to work, cutting and cooking and cranking and crankety squish, crankety swish. Until the baskets are empty and the containers are full, we fill Grandma's big freezer and pack the rest in our car. Finally, we say our goodbyes and head for home, tired and sticky, but full of stories and smiles and applesauce. The car grows quiet. I run my finger over the scratches in the old metal pot. Someday, I think, when I grow up, I will cook apples in this very special pot on Applesauce Day. And that is the end.